I'm a little bit pissed off. I just left the theater to watch Ballerina, that movie in the John Wick universe of things, and
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
I haven't been this disappointed since M. Night Shyamalan's Trap. If you've seen Trap, you know exactly what I mean. Let's just jump into it. Now, heavy on the spoilers. I don't recommend this movie just because I was so bored personally. But if you do want to watch it, just know that I am telling some of the plot points, a bit of a twist maybe in it, so just be warned. This movie starts with a father-daughter duo having daddy-daughter time by the water, dancing, reminiscing about a sister, seemingly older sister, that you look so much like her, and I wish I remembered her. Quickly, within like 2 minutes, they're in the house and someone is after them. We are in the John Wick universe now. We have one person who is the dad, the best fighter in the world. He is taking out 5, 10, 15 people as she is hiding in a bookshelf type tunnel system. When he heard the shots, he went and got her and said, "Remember how we trained, remember what I taught you." As she's hiding and her daddy is doing daddy things, beating up all of these bad guys, he's eventually bested. The main guy walks up and you know he's the one in charge because everyone was fighting. He was not. He came in once everything was subdued and this guy was pretty much captured. Hands him a gun with just one bullet in it and says one bullet can change the world. You can shoot me and you and your daughter will both die together, but at least you'll be together. Or you can shoot yourself and your daughter will be safe. While he's going on this rant, he also mentioned something a little bit cryptic that I caught, saying, "You had no right to take her from this life. Your wife suffered because of your decision. You are an outsider. You're not one of us. We welcomed you in and now you do this." Start thinking, what is really going on? What is this life? I assumed it was like John Wick. He was in a life first and then got out when he got married and, the puppy story, blah, blah, blah. So dad, wanting to protect his daughter, pulls the gun up, about to make that decision where she is hiding in that bookshelf, yells out for her papa. That distracts everyone just enough to where he can boom, 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 start taking people out. The head guy, he scurries off. We have a little bit more fight scene, some explosions. The dad ends up succumbing to his injuries and passes away.
Oh, she passed away? Oh. All right.
Then we're transported into a police station, I think it was, or maybe just a random building. The daughter, soon to be Anna de Armas, this is her younger version again, she is sitting there all sad, and then we see someone that we know from the previous movies. The guy who's in charge of the Continental that had so many interactions with John Wick himself. He says, "I know your dad. Well, I guess I knew your dad. He was a very honest man, and I can take you to his family, and they'll take care of you." Takes her hand, but where he actually takes her is to that Ballerina studio that we saw in, I think it was John Wick 1, maybe a little bit in John Wick 2. They didn't really dive into it, but we see that director, the one that John referred to as like his mother type figure. He takes her there. Was that actually the dad's family, or was it just kind of in general, we're all in this together type thing? I don't really know. It doesn't really matter. The next scene, we skip 12 years into the future. Now the movie is starring Anna de Armas as she is going about this life. She's a part of the Ruska Roma, I think is what it's called. Something, that ballet academy. She's doing ballet, she's training in martial arts, she's training in just general hand-to-hand combat, fighting with guns, fighting with knives. She's doing the whole training montage. So much to where she thinks she's ready for her first mission. She goes to the director, who is that lady we mentioned. She goes to her and says, "I'm ready," does one final test, which requires her to kill somebody, and then she gets sent off on a mission. This is where it kind of starts going downhill for me, because every single one of her missions that they show, which I think is really just one or two, it felt like a toddler was going up against giants. She was working with rubber bullets, which they did tell us that, but nothing felt fatal. She was kind of stabbing and hitting at people that felt like no impact was happening every single time she was fighting. I was like, are you just trying to play fight them? Are you trying to kill them? Because mind you, when I watch John Wick, I'm looking for Baba Yaga. I'm looking for the guy who killed people with a pencil. I want not brutality, but I want a good fight scene. And I did not see this with this movie. 2 hours of very mediocre fight scenes, starting with her going after a potential kidnapped victim at a club where she's trying to save the girl from these Japanese looking henchmen. They did have good fight scenes because they were kicking, they were spinning. I liked their moves, but anytime they were fighting her, it just felt unremarkable, I guess would be the best word, because eventually I started getting bored with all of these fight scenes. But she saves the girl, she moves on to the next mission. We, as the audience, have a little bit of a time jump 2 months into the future as she's doing another one. This time she's very successful. She's in a bathroom with tons of seemingly dead bodies. She takes a picture to prove that she did accomplish this mission, and she gets wired $750,000. This job is lucrative. She's doing it well, and then she just goes downstairs. They're always in a club. Mind you, every single John Wick scene where some people are fighting, it's always in some type of club. I don't know what that atmosphere is, but as she's going in her getaway car just to leave the scene, she gets rammed into by people who assumingly knew what she did upstairs and are coming for revenge. Another fight scene that was, I can't say it enough, so underwhelming with this fight. She ends up subduing the guy and seeing on his arm, well, on his wrist, a burn mark, a brand, something that's just a solid X, scars into his arm. I don't know how you would really describe it, but that is the same symbol on the same spot on the body that she remembers from the night her dad died. All of those men that were coming in there to kill him had that symbol. Who are these people? Now we have a mission. Now we have a mystery. We have revenge. Now we have our target in mind. She goes to the director. She goes to her saying, you knew who these people were. Why didn't you tell me? Because obviously she knew. She knows everything. But what she also knows is we don't mess with them. They don't mess with us. We don't mess with them. They have no rules. They have no code. And we just want to stay clear. Don't investigate this. Leave it alone. Of course, she doesn't listen. It wouldn't be a movie if she listened. So she doesn't listen. Instead, she goes to the Continental, meets her old friend there, exchanges the coin he gave her years ago for information. Tell me everything you know, where I can find them, who they are, how many, blah, blah, blah. Give me something. I'm out for revenge. He again urges her, I don't think you want this. I don't think you're ready for this smoke, and I don't think you want this fight. She doesn't listen to. She tells him actually straight up, if you tell me no, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm just going to go do it on my own. He gives her a little bit more information, and then we get one of those scenes where you're asking for one thing, but really it's code for another. I'm referencing when John Wick went into, I think it was a hotel for a suit, and he was asking, do you want it double-breasted? Do you want it a certain material? And that was all code for what weapons do you want? In this movie, it's a hunting shop, so the verbiage is more, is this a small hunting party? Is this a large hunting party? We're going through all the weapons. We see what's happening. She did ask the cashier if he knows about that X tribe. He said, I don't know, and I don't want to know. He's showing her all the weapons, but before she gets to pick something, they come and start attacking her. Bullets are flying, and this is a big gripe I had because, now, granted, maybe I just don't know how grenades work, because in this movie, she would throw a grenade and it would affect just that one singular person. She was undamaged. She would hide behind a door, she would hide behind a table, and the grenade did nothing but to her, but it exploded that person to smithereens to where there was nothing left. Do I not know what explosives do? No. But did that seem realistic? No. Is it supposed to be? It's a movie. It's never that serious, but it was just kind of weird to me that nothing was affecting her. Mind you, she's just 2 months into this career and she's beating everybody's behind. She laid out probably 10 to 12 people during this whole fight scene. Eventually, they're all down. The shop owner says, you know what? They were a little bit out of line coming to my shop shooting me. So I'll tell you everything I know. She gets a little bit more information. Now we're moving. I'm making this sound interesting. It's not. Next, after she gets the information on where this town, where this tribe actually is, she goes there, and it's a normal village. It's a normal town. There's businesses, there's families, there are houses. They're just random people living there. And she goes into a local eatery and sees People are side-eyeing her. They're kind of walking out of the room when she walks in. There's a little bit of whispering going on, and then she gets into, say it with me now, another underwhelming fight scene. Yes, this was probably the sixth one in the movie, and it was not hitting. It was just as bad as the other ones. There was action, there was slicing, there was dicing, but it felt like they were blocking for another take, and everything was just underwhelming. There was a bit of a comedy moment though. Her and the cashier were smashing plates over each other's head back and forth for about 2 minutes, but that felt more like a comedy sketch and not a movie about fighting in the John Wick universe. I don't know how to describe it, so I'll move on. The whole time, the chancellor, the guy we met from the beginning, in charge of everything, he's getting notifications. There's a outsider here. She's beating up people. One of his right-hand women, we met her in an earlier scene that whole storyline is irrelevant, so I will leave it out. She ends up notifying him, hey, we got the girl. She's captured, she's an outsider, and she's also in this organization that we have a truce with, so maybe you should go talk to her. As he's talking to her, saying, hey, you broke a 200-year truce, or maybe it's 100. I'm pretty sure 200-year truce that our tribes had together. Now everybody in your organization will suffer. They will suffer because of you. She reassures him the director had nothing to do with this. She did not send me. It's my undertaking on my own. I actually came for you specifically because when I was younger, you killed my dad and you tried to take me. This rings a bell in his head because apparently the man has only tried to kidnap a few people. He remembers who she is, walks out, and tells that lady that he had been talking with, that gave him the notification, she's here for revenge and she's actually your sister. So that was a bit of a twist, and I mean, I liked that aspect of it. I don't think it went anywhere because we hear a commotion. She's set free as she's fighting with people trying to get away. The sister does the sisterly thing, shoots a guy in the head that's about to fight with her, but ultimately I feel like that storyline went nowhere. Now, the chancellor calls the director of that Ballerina type studio, Ruska Roma, I think is what the organization's called. I don't remember. I'll put it on the screen. He says, we got a problem. Your girl's over here, and I'm ready to start a war because of what y'all are doing. She says, well, I got somebody who can fix that. If I send someone in to fix our problem, our mutual problem, are we good now? Can we go back to being harmonious? He says, I'll consider it. We know who she's sending in. It's Baba Yaga. It's our man Keanu Reeves. But as he's, I'm guessing, taking a train over to this village, the two sisters are in a cabin fighting each other, as you do, until the older sister, the one who was in that organization in that town, says, do you even remember me? I'm your sister. This is the first time she's revealing it to her, and says, Dad took you away, left me here, and I was bitter about it. I had some resentment, but then I realized I was already deep into this organization. I was 9 years old, and I already had my first kill. He was still trying to save you. I think they were going to start bonding, but we see the place is surrounded. There are people all around ready to take the shot, and the chancellor says, take them both out. Which, at this point, she means nothing to him. I thought she was very high up in the organization, very important, but he said, kill them both.
Death to all
and
of
they
them.
do. They don't. They try to. They blow up the place. They shoot up everywhere. Somehow, Eve, which is Ana de Armas's character, survives it all, starts killing people. I don't know how she's doing this. She's only been on the job 2 months, technically. But she is taking everyone out. She runs to the town, and she ends up meeting with John Locke. John Locke. No. She ends up meeting with John Wick. John Locke is from Lost. Girl, get it together. She meets with John Wick and says, do you remember me? They met a little bit earlier one time, and he told her, you can still get out of this life. Keanu Reeves, they hire him for 100 words and 100 words only. That man will speak in 1 to 2 word sentences, and that's all you're getting. The whole time he's trying to convince her, you can leave. You can leave. You can prevent this war. You can prevent me killing you because I don't want to do it. This is between movie 1 and 2, maybe between 2 and 3 by the time this happens. So he's out of the life, but he is willing to kill you if he has to. They're fighting, and we already know she's going to lose. He's kind of getting the weapons out of her hand, ramming her into things, but he's not hurting her. He doesn't want to hurt her. He wants her to get out. She begs him, just let me finish this. Meaning, let me take out the Chancellor. He killed my father. I just want revenge. John Wick says you have until midnight. At this point, it's like 11:32, 11:38. You have until midnight. If he's not dead and this isn't finished, that's your behind. Basically, I will kill you if you don't kill him by midnight. She's going into the town. She's fighting people. There is a point in this movie, a good 20-minute stretch, feels like a whole hour stretch, that her only weapon is a flamethrower. Now, admittedly, I do not know how flamethrowers work. That's just something I don't know, and I'm willing to admit that. But the amount of flame, of gas, of fuel, of whatever those things run off that she was using, it felt excessive. Like, obviously, this is a movie. It does not matter. It's not that serious. But she was using that thing to take out the entire town. We even meet, kind of, the main antagonist, bad guy who is fighting her. He gets a flamethrower too, and then it's the battle of the flamethrowers until eventually hers runs out, which I was saying out loud, finally, because she was using that thing so much instead of her fighting with nothing or just her hands, because he has a flamethrower. I remind you again, she gets a hose off the wall, and then we get our Harry Potter moment with the wands where she's going out with the water, he's going out with the fire, and we see the two like trying to meet, not one not overpowering the other until eventually they both fall. She's fighting him, trying to subdue him, and then he gets taken out by John Wick. Basically a reminder to, girl, get this going, because I got somewhere to be and you got someone to kill. She looks up at him, nods in kind of a thank you type way, and continues to go after this man, the Chancellor. The Chancellor was running for his life. They convinced him after this 200 years of not one person being in charge ever fleeing out of thought of danger. We've lost John Wick and we've lost control of this girl. You need to get out of here. He's racing out of town. He's with his granddaughter. Again, a plot line that does not matter, so we won't go into it. She starts shooting at the car, eventually gets them stopped dead in their place. He comes out and he's talking mad trash, saying anything you do now will not change anything in these organizations. You can kill me, somebody else is going to come in this place, you will eventually die, nothing you do is going to matter. He's talking so much that she just shoots him in the head. I think it's because she was on a time crunch and John Wick had her in his sniper scope and was ready to take her out. By this point, we were probably at like 11:59 in my head. The timer was not going on screen, but I knew she was running out of time. So how does the movie end? It ends with John Wick calls the director and says, it's done. Mind you, he only speaks in 1 to 2 word sentences, so that was enough. Oh, she's dead? No, he's dead, meaning the Chancellor. She hangs up almost immediately, puts a bounty on this girl's head. Ana de Armas has left. She is now in a cinema type theater watching a ballet of, I think it was, of those girls she grew up with. As she's watching that, she sees the bounty of $5 million because they get notifications on their phone saying, you take old Eve girl out and you'll get all this money. We see phones lighting up throughout the theater because, again, this organization has taken over the world. They're everywhere. We knew that from, I think it was John Wick 2. But she walks out with this bounty on her head, kind of being sequel bait, similar to John Wick, that the next one is going to be her excommunicado or so, and running from everyone. I made it sound interesting. It was not, I assure you. I left out some of the plot points that just didn't matter. Let me know in the comments, what's your favorite John Wick out of the 4, because I'm just trying to get this out of my head. It was very disappointing. I was hyped for this. And I tell you, my theater screening was only me and one old couple. No one was watching this movie. I don't know if other people have. They already watched it. I've heard no chatter about it, but I just want to get it out of my mind. Don't do all the YouTube things. Like the video if you like the video. Make sure to send this to someone who liked this movie or someone who you're trying to convince maybe not to see it, or just spread the word around. comment down below which is your favorite and if you've seen it and if I missed something, because maybe I'm just tunnel vision. I don't know. Till next time, peace.